Problems are mounting for Ruben Amorim amid news that 3 of his Manchester United stars are unhappy. He looks to be steadying United's wobbling ship, having recently masterminded a win over Manchester City. But the fallout from that game has hit the squad hard. Marcus Rashford, who was left out entirely at the weekend, announced an intention to leave the club following the snub, claiming he wanted a new challenge. Amorim also confirmed that Alejandro Garnacho, who, like Rashford, was left at home for the City game, was a little bit upset with how he'd been treated, and that Mason Mount was really sad. Mount has struggled with injuries since joining United, having been limited to just 9 Premier League starts since his blockbuster move from Chelsea in 2023. The midfielder fought back tears as he limped off after just 14 minutes at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday with an apparent muscle injury, leaving him inconsolable in the dressing room. While Garnacho and Rashford are unhappy about being snubbed for the win at City, Mount is more upset about his personal situation. "He's really sad," Amorim said. "In the dressing room, he was really sad, so we need to help him. When player is in this moment with a lot of injuries and with this schedule, it's really hard for them. We will try to find a better way to recover these kind of guys like Mount and Luke Shaw, because after a few weeks and a few months, they will be ready to cope with a lot of things." Mount has missed 30 games through injury since the start of last season and has only completed 90 minutes once in a United shirt. According to Amorim, Mount saw a specialist on Wednesday in an attempt to get to the bottom of his recurring injury woes, which are threatening to derail his Old Trafford career. When asked if the 2021 Champions League winner was facing a lengthy layoff, Amorim replied, "Not at the moment, but we will know more or less how serious it is today." Previously, Amorim said he was impressed with Mount's work ethic and determination to overcome his injury troubles, though stressed the importance of him staying fit. "The first thing is that he is working really hard," the Portuguese coach said of Mount before United's 4-0 win over Everton. "And then you have to understand the human also. He wants this really badly. That is the most important thing. He has proven to all of you that he is a talented player. He was European champion, so we believe a lot in him. He has to stay fit. And like all the guys in the team, they are quality players. They have to improve and believe in themselves." Mount's absence, coupled with the possibility of Rashford's departure next month, could leave Amorim a little light in attacking areas. The former Sporting CP manager claims he wants Rashford to stay and says he will offer him and Garnacho the chance to work their way back into the starting Amin seat. Garnacho is expected to return to the fold for United's Carabao Cup quarter-final clash with Tottenham this evening, December 19th. Rashford, who was sent home from training on Monday, isn't expected to take part, however. Reacting to Rashford's new challenge remark, Amorim said he understood the player's frustration, but insisted he'd have preferred it if the forward had spoken to him before going public. "If this was me, probably I would speak with the manager," he said. "It's hard to explain to you guys what I am going to do when I speak to him. I am a little bit emotional as a person, so in the moment I will understand what to do. I am preparing the game, and then we will see. Let's focus on the team, not individual players. That's it. It's a hard situation to comment on. If I give a lot of importance, it will have big headlines in the newspaper. If I say it's not a problem, then my standards are getting low. So, I will deal with that. I understand that. My focus is not to take the attention from the game, from the team, what we did in the last game, and put on Marcus. What I'm saying is that the team is more important than the individual. We will assess at the right time. Let's focus on the game." That's all he added. "We are better with Marcus Rashford. That is simple, and we will try different things to push Marcus to the best levels he showed in the past. This kind of club needs big talent, and he's a big talent, so he just needs to perform at the highest level. I just want to help Marcus." Rashford claims he has no issue with Amorim and simply wants to try something new after 9 seasons in United's first team. "For me, personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge. And the next steps," he told journalist Henry Winter on Tuesday. "When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person." Alejandro Garnacho has been recalled to the Manchester United squad for their League Cup quarter-final against Tottenham on Thursday night, but Marcus Rashford was absent as the squad departed Manchester. Garnacho and Rashford were omitted from the matchday squad for the Premier League victory against Manchester City on Sunday and were ordered to train at the club's Carrington training complex on the morning of the game. Garnacho, 20, wore a snood pulled over his mouth and a black beanie hat when he rendezvoused with teammates for the journey to London on Wednesday afternoon. However, Rashford was unaccounted for when the United players gathered at the airport car park and then Stockport station. Rashford outlined his wish to leave United in an interview on Tuesday, having reported unwell for training on Monday. United players were given Tuesday off by head coach Ruben Amorim. The club have been asked for comment on Rashford's fitness. Amorim clarified after the City match that Garnacho and Rashford would be in contention to return to the squad against Spurs. "We have one more training," Amorim said on Wednesday morning, "but it's the same situation of all the other players. If they train well, then I have to make a choice. We will see at the end of training. Of course, I expect a reaction. I expect the best of each player every day, so we will see after training." After United beat City, Amorim addressed the absences of Rashford and Garnacho. "It is important to say why. It was not a disciplinary thing. Next week, next game, new life, they are fighting for their places. But for me it is important the performance in training, the performance in games, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you engage with your teammates, the way you push your teammates. Everything's important in our context in the beginning of something, when we want to change a lot of things. When people in our club are losing their jobs, we have to put the standards really high. For that they have to fight for their place in the team, and today the team, we proved we can leave anyone outside the squad and manage to win if you play together. I'm going to say, again, it was not a disciplinary thing. It's the small details. You can see the games like I see, there are some things that have to change. But it is a new life, it's not a disciplinary thing. It's the performance in training, the performance in game, and then I have to change, to choose players. If it was disciplinary, I would say that here, and it will be a bigger problem, but it was not that. It was just that I want to improve my players, and you understand that for so long, for example with Rash, we tried a thing, and it doesn't work. Let's continue to do the same thing, or try something different. So it's as simple as that. If they train well with the talent they have, we will be so much better with them. Both of them. But they have to work hard, they do. Today they trained really hard, so it's a good thing. New week, new life, let's see the next one. Noussair Mazraoui has recovered from a knock he sustained against City to be available for selection. Confirmed United squad members Onana, Bayindir, Heaton, Dalot, Mazraoui, Euro, Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Evans, Martinez, Malacia, Ugarte, Casemiro, Fernandes, Eriksen, Mainu, Antony, Garnacho, Xerxes, Højlund, Ahmad. Marcus Rashford has been criticised for a lack of effort, playing without heart, and for being lazy when representing Manchester United. He has been labelled as greedy. His actions, not chasing back or sprinting enough on the pitch, speak louder than his words, it has been said. However, when the same Rashford turned up at his old primary school on Tuesday, another side to him was shown. More accurately, the part of Rashford which has always been there and is often reflected off the field was public-facing, as opposed to the footballer we usually see. This is the grateful Rashford, the one who will be ignored when he isn't scoring goals or laying on assists. To a great deal of those who watch him at Old Trafford and beyond, this Rashford is actually a reason that the wonder kid from almost 10 years ago has been lost, replaced by a shadow of the former electric striker. Rashford, his detractors both in the stands and in the media will say, has been too often distracted. Be it with visits like this, heading to Button Lane to give out Christmas gifts to pupils, or trying to do the work of the British government in attempts to feed young children during the COVID-19 pandemic. That this is even a conversation or a topic says more about the sporting world and the judgment athletes are exposed to than anything that can be produced when they are in action. For Rashford, it is almost fitting, probably deliberate, that what looks to be an official start of the end has happened here. For me, personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps, he told journalist Henry Winter when asked what the future held for him, especially after being left out of Ruben Amorim's squad for the Manchester derby on Sunday. Rashford's name, or rather the lack of his name or appearance at the Etihad Stadium, almost overshadowed one of the biggest matches of the season. Had it not been for Ahmad and a late turnaround, then it almost certainly would have. In the days since, Rashford has been the story more than Amorim and his challenge to turn around a crumbling club. Last week, it was reported that he had been made available in the January window at a cut price of £40 million. That is a significant drop-off from his value 2 years ago, or in 2020. Even in the summer, there was noise that Rashford could leave. Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe never went as far as backing him or anyone else at the club. Just about everybody was up for sale. People were expendable. This all came less than a year on from signing a new long-term deal. Rashford earned that by ending Erik ten Hag's first season in charge with 30 goals, sometimes looking like the only way forward for United. Tied down by massive wages, just how long he would remain at his boyhood club was never quite certain. Rashford has always generated attention, be it for his footballing or non-footballing activity. He has been a walking transfer rumour, basically since day one. When not spoken about as a star, he is muddied and broken down instead. Rashford, as Elton John said, is still standing. He is largely battered away and come through criticism. The last 2 years have been different though, with form dipping on a personal and team level. That is what has led to Roy Keane suggesting, before these latest comments from his Wythenshawe roots, that the time for a move has come. Rashford, classy as always, responded to the questions of an exit in the only way he knows how. "When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings," he explained. "You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me." Rashford was booed off the field at the end of last season during the FA Cup semi-final against Coventry City. More groans and dissent were heard last week at Victoria Pleasant. He is regularly hammered by readers in the comments of this site, and social media is just as vitriolic. On Tuesday, he posted on Instagram after the visit to Button Lane, regardless. "Great day joining in the Christmas festivities at Button Lane Primary School Christmas tree emoji," he wrote. This is what Rashford has always been able to do and will always do. He is from Manchester. A United fan for life. Yes, 100%, and with this place at his heart, even if it can be a cause of hurt and may soon have to wield a painful goodbye. He has always been loyal to the area and helps the club with foundation and charity work. He does plenty off his own back as well. "I don't like to see kids go through what I went through growing up, so as many kids as I can help, I will," he told Winter. "That's why the programme needs to go on for as long as possible, and it needs to keep improving."